11-year-old Theo Miller was perpetually late. Late for breakfast, late for school, late for soccer practice, late for everything. His bedroom shelves held 6 different alarm clocks, all ignored, snoozed, or mysteriously broken. Time, to Theo, was an abstract concept that applied to other people. Time is the one thing you can never get back, his grandfather often told him. Theo would nod politely while checking his phone for new game notifications. On Theo's 12th birthday, his grandfather arrived carrying an unusual package wrapped in midnight blue paper with silver constellations. The old man's eyes twinkled as he handed it over. "Something special," he said, "but use it wisely." Beneath the wrapping paper was a wooden box with intricate carvings of gears, stars, and flowing rivers. Inside lay the strangest pocket watch Theo had ever seen. It had 3 faces instead of 1. The largest displayed hours, minutes, and seconds like a normal watch. The second face showed days, weeks, and months, but the third and smallest face was blank, except for a single red hand that didn't seem to move at all. "What's this one for?" Theo asked, pointing to the blank face. His grandfather smiled mysteriously. "That counts what truly matters. You'll understand when you need to." That night, Theo placed the watch on his nightstand, admiring how the moonlight played across its surface. He drifted to sleep, wondering what his grandfather had meant. The next morning, Theo woke with a start. He was late for school again. Without thinking, he grabbed the pocket watch and stuffed it into his jeans before racing downstairs. Theo Miller. His mother stood in the kitchen, arms crossed. "Your breakfast has been cold for 20 minutes. Now you'll miss the bus. Sorry, Mom," he muttered, grabbing a cold piece of toast. "I'll walk fast." As he trudged towards school, Theo felt the weight of the watch in his pocket. He pulled it out, surprised to find it warm to the touch. The main face showed he was indeed late, very late. The second face showed the date, but now the third face had changed. The red hand had moved slightly, and beneath it appeared a tiny number, 12. When Theo arrived at school, his teacher Miss Ramirez gave him that look, the one that said she was disappointed but not surprised. "That's the 3rd time this week, Theo. You've missed the entire math lesson." As he slumped into his seat, he felt the watch grow warmer. Glancing at it discreetly, he saw the number on the third face had increased to 25. Throughout the day, Theo noticed a pattern. Whenever he wasted time, dozing off in class, playing games when he should have been working, making his friends wait, the number on the third face increased. By the end of the school day, it read 67. That evening, as Theo started his homework, his phone buzzed with notifications. His fingers itched to check them, but he remembered the climbing number on the watch. With effort, he turned his phone face down and focused on his assignment. To his surprise, when he next checked the watch, the number had decreased to 65. "It's counting something," he whispered to himself. But what? The next morning, determined to test his theory, Theo set his alarm 30 minutes early. When it rang, every fiber of his being wanted to hit snooze, but instead, he forced himself up. He dressed quickly, packed his bag, and headed downstairs. His mother nearly dropped the coffee pot when he appeared in the kitchen. "Theo, are you feeling all right?" she asked, placing a hand on his forehead. "I'm fine, Mom," he laughed. "Just thought I'd try something different." Throughout the day, Theo made conscious choices about his time. He listened attentively in class instead of daydreaming. He completed his assignments during study hall rather than leaving them for later. He even helped his lab partner finish their science project early. By dinner, the number on the watch had decreased to 41. Over the next weeks, Theo developed a new relationship with time. He discovered that arriving early meant relaxed conversations with friends before class. Completing homework promptly left more time for things he enjoyed. Being punctual for soccer practice meant extra time to work on his skills. Most surprisingly, he found he actually had more time, not less, when he respected it. One afternoon, while visiting his grandfather, Theo finally asked about the mysterious third face. The old man took the watch, examining it proudly. "It's counting wasted moments, Theo. Every minute spent carelessly adds to the count. Every minute used thoughtfully subtracts from it." "But why count that?" Theo asked. "Because at the end of your life, this number represents all the time you can never get back." His grandfather's eyes grew distant. "My watch showed over 10,000 when I was your age. I've spent decades working it down. What happens when it reaches 0? Theo wondered. "I don't know," his grandfather admitted. "No one in our family has ever managed it." But I believe something extraordinary awaits the person who values every moment of their life. That night, Theo stared at the number 38, glowing faintly on the watch face. He made a decision. He would be the first to find out. Years passed. Theo grew from a boy into a young man who was known for his punctuality and efficiency. The watch became his constant companion, guiding his choices. He wasn't perfect. Sometimes the number would increase after a weekend of video games or a day spent procrastinating, but the overall trend was downward. As the years went by, Theo's time management skills earned him the position of soccer team captain, his teammates respecting his reliability and commitment. By his senior year, Theo was methodically preparing for college, arranging his applications with the same care he now applied to all aspects of his life. On his 18th birthday, as Theo prepared to leave for college, the number stood at just 5. His grandfather, now quite elderly, held the watch with trembling hands. "You've nearly done it," he whispered proudly. "Remember, Theo, respecting time isn't about filling every moment with productivity. It's about being present for the moments that matter." As Theo embraced his grandfather, he felt the watch grow warm between them. Later that night, alone in his room, he checked the third face. The number had reached 0. The watch began to glow with a soft golden light. When the light faded, the third face had transformed. Where once there had been numbers counting down, now there was a simple inscription: "Time respected is life well lived." Beneath it, a tiny door had appeared in the watch's surface. Theo carefully opened it to find not gears or springs, but what looked like a small mirror. In its reflection, he saw not just himself, but glimpses of moments yet to come. Opportunities, choices, and possibilities. A future rich with potential, precisely because he had learned to value each irreplaceable moment. The next morning, Theo awoke before his alarm, filled with purpose as he prepared for the day ahead with his newfound understanding of time's true value. As the weeks passed, Theo discovered that truly valuing time meant not just managing his own efficiently, but also using it to help others, like when he assisted his elderly neighbor with her groceries. When his grandfather passed away peacefully months later, Theo sat by his bedside, the transformed watch between their hands, grateful for the final moments they shared together. At college, Theo's roommate marveled at his ability to balance academics, social life, and responsibilities with seemingly effortless organization. Years later, as Theo received his college diploma, the transformed watch now attached to his graduation tassel, he knew his grandfather would have been proud of how he'd used his time. In his 30s, Theo continued the tradition, presenting a similar constellation-wrapped package to his young daughter. The original watch, now converted to a wristwatch he wore daily. And as the years passed, Theo stood with his family, his aging mother, his teenage son, looking at their collection of timepieces, knowing that across generations, they had all learned the same precious lesson. The greatest gift, Theo realized, wasn't the time he'd saved, it was learning how to spend it well. If this story reminded you of the value of every moment, don't forget to like and subscribe, because time spent on meaningful stories is time well spent.